Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. It is Monday and a little bit past 7, well, a lot past, about halfway past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And you're saying, Larry, wait a minute, this is Monday. You're supposed to be doing that late night thing. Well, I was going to, but my caretaker did not give me permission to stay up late tonight. So I can't stay up late tonight. So I don't get to do that. Too bad. My baby boy has to go to bed early tonight. What are you going to do? It happens to the best of us. Actually, it doesn't, but it just happened to me. Doesn't matter. The point is, I am here tonight, and I thought tonight that I would bring up a very interesting thing. Some of you may have known or were paying attention, if you care, that there was a state of national health roundtable held by Senator Johnson. And a bunch of people showed up. RFK Jr. showed up. The Means family members showed up. Others showed up. Lots of people showed up talking about health in America. It's stuff I've been talking about literally for 7 years, right? Trying to get people to understand the health system, how bad it is, all those things. So some of you are going to say, well, Larry, why are you going to talk about that kind of stuff? You know, what are you, some kind of doctor? No, I'm smarter than one, by the way. Thank you very much. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a doctor. But I'm going to talk about the system. If you have, it's going to sound so dumb and so trite and still so true. If you have a worse system, you will have worse outcomes. If you have a better system, you will have better outcomes. So we have to have a better system. That is the key. The key is a better system. If we have that, now things begin to change if we have a better system. And that's what I want to do. I want to have a better system. Now, Bobby Kennedy Jr. had a little piece I want to show, and I want to talk about that piece, what he said and how we can make adjustments and cover that piece. And also, as always, my dear friends, I will take your comments and your questions as I always do. But yes, I will deal with it. Lunatic Libertarian is already on my ass. Call me an old man, and you are correct. I am. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm still cooler than you. So don't get it, confused. But yes, but accurate. But yes, go accurate. So he's already, Lunatic's already on a prowl. I love it. Oh, good. Glad you were okay. Very good. Glad you're here. So guys, of course, I'm going to start that, but understand, you know it's going to be good or you wouldn't be watching. So you know it's going to be good. What does that mean? That means you are now to body slam the button that is like. You are to body slam it. Oh, don't hurt yourself, though. Lunatic, don't hurt yourself. I know I'm old, but I could do it. So yes, body slam it or atomic elbow it, knee it, whatever. Touch that button known as the like button. Please do that. This way people will see me and say, oh, this guy must be good because people are clicking like. Even if you hate me, click like anyway, or else how can you hate watch? You didn't think of that, did you? You can do that too. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, please retweet this now, repost this now, share it now, whatever the case may be. If you are watching on either Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, hit that follow, subscribe button. Why aren't you subscribed? Do you have a problem? What's wrong with you? Subscribe, follow, of course. If you want your chat to go to the front, always super chat me. Love the super chats. Always push them to the front. And I also try to make a priority for the members. If you want to become a member, click that join button. If you're on Larry Sharpe YouTube, you can click that join button. $5 a month keeps me going. I do more of this and less of other stuff, which keeps me tracked. As you know, last week I spent like several days at the INC. Tore my whole weekend up. I was catching up all weekend, catching up all today. Nothing but ketchup. No mustard. Oh, terrible dad joke. Why did you make me do that? Terrible dad joke. Oh my God. Andrew, that is your fault for that bad joke. Your fault. I'm blaming you. No, I'm going to blame who I always blame. It's Mike Voss's fault. It's always his fault. We're just going to blame him. That's all. Let me go ahead, if I could, bring this in so you can see this was his intro, and I'll talk about some details on what it actually means and why it actually matters.
I want to begin by thanking Senator Johnson for his courage and the gift that he had of critical thinking, which survived the orchestrated fear that we fought. Now, we all encountered during the pandemic. He was the only member of this body for some time that was willing to challenge the orthodoxies. He was subsequently joined by one other key member, Rand Paul.
Mhm.
And he faced the same kind of vilification, the marginalization, the demonization.
Now, I want to bring this piece up here, if I could. Yes, I want to give Ron Johnson credit. He's doing this. But there is one extra piece about this that I want to be clear. Ron Johnson doesn't have to run again. He won in 2022. He's vowed to only do 2 terms. This was his 2nd term. So assuming that he's going to just keep it, he'll go to 2028 and he'll walk. That's my assumption. He'll probably do that. So why do I say that? Am I putting down Johnson? I'm not. What I'm saying is the way the system is, if you plan on continuing to run, you can't fight the system, right? Unless you're in a very specific spot. Luckily, the people in Kentucky, Rand Paul and Thomas Massie, are so entrenched they can do it. Massie, no one's running against him. He has no competition. He just runs unopposed. So when you're in that world, you can. So that's a piece that I want to make sure we're clear of. I'm glad he's doing it. No shade, but also he's also safe. I'm going to grab a super chat if I could. Yes, Losing Libertarian, thank you for the $5. I'm 41 years old. I took a silver medal in the 164 weight class, true novice class, Wisconsin Golden Gloves. It's all fun and games. Look at you. I didn't know you were a boxer. Okay, I better watch out. You might take me out. Okay, I got to watch out. You should punch, and then I'm going to get in a bus, and I'm going to yell at you from the back of the bus while I drive away. How about that? You probably can't outrun a bus, hotshot. So I will just, the bus is going to stop. Bus is a bad idea. I'm not doing bus. I take that back. I will take an Uber with the window open. I will then yell at you with the window and tell them to drive very quickly. That'll teach you. I had a plan. You know what the plan was, but I had it. And yes, Mike, you are the bad guy, but not because you're right. Well, sometimes you are. But in this case, no. There we go. In this case, no. It's easy. Let me keep going.
Discretization that he just referred to, that was applied in such an extraordinary way.
Yes.
To the scientists, the medical professionals, and the people, the individuals who were injured by some of these government policies, who were systematically silenced, not only by the government agencies that are captured by the pharmaceutical companies that were profiting by hundreds of billions.
And this is one of the most important pieces. And for people who will say, Larry, these people are all nuts. Larry, these people are all, they're all anti this or anti that. I can't say the word because it get crashed on YouTube. So they don't like the sticky stick, right? You're anti-stick. You're anti that. Oh my God, clearly you're nuts. It actually doesn't matter because free speech matters no matter what. You might go, but Larry, these are private companies. No. This was the government. And that's what he's saying. And he's correct. This was the government, either the government attacking or stopping or silencing, or the government with, fighting with social media to silence, to stop, to shadow ban, all those things. Look, it's been forever. The best answer for negative or bad speech is more speech, right? That's it. More speech. So people should be able to say what they're going to say. If people are hurt, right? People being hurt, I'm assuming that people are hurt. Now you might go, well, Larry, it wasn't the stick. Okay, maybe it wasn't. I'm not doubting that, right? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. As I said earlier, I'm not a doctor. I'm smarter than doctors. So I'm not a doctor. The point is, you should be able to say, hey, I've been injured. I've been hurt. Let's figure this out. Let's get some compensation if that's required. Let's change some systems if that's required. But when you shut it down, that's when you know. And what Kennedy has said 1,000 times, he's totally right. When throughout history, when have the good guys been the people who are stifling speech? When have the people who are censoring or cutting people's tongues out, when have they been the good guys? I'm going to kind of go with never. So if you're the one doing it, you may be the baddie. For those of you who know that meme, you may be the baddie. And I think that's what he's really talking about in this case. And I agree.
From these policies and that exercise such an extraordinary control over this body, but also by the mainstream media in this country.
Media too?
Which also gets 47% of its advertising revenue from the companies that profited during that period.
Now, I want to be clear on this. This is a big piece that most people don't know. If 47% of your revenue comes from the pharmaceutical industry, are you going to attack the pharmaceutical industry? Those of you who know what I do, for my day job, I'm a business coach and or political trainer. I'm a political consultant, a business trainer. One of the things when I'm teaching businesses is I tell them this part. If 40% of your revenue comes from any one customer, 4% or more, you're in trouble. No, but he's my big client. She's my big client. You're in trouble. You cannot have cannot. Of course you can. You should not have, there we go. You should not have 40% or more of your revenue coming from any one customer. If you do, your number one priority is getting another big customer. Number one, over anything else. If you don't do that, you're in trouble. They have a saying for this in the business world. It's called being Walmarted. Yes, because Walmart does that. Walmart, what it does is they say, oh, Morgan, you have this great product, this great service. I love it. We want to buy, and we're going to buy lots of it. And you go, oh my God, you want to buy a bunch of my cool Morgan back scratchers. You make back scratchers now, Morgan. So yeah, so you want to buy all my back scratchers. Amazing. And they go, how many back scratchers do you make every year? I make 10,000. We want to buy 20,000. And you go, oh my God, I'm now going to spend extra money, go into debt so I can make 20,000 a year. And you start making 30,000 because you already sell 10. So now you spend another 20 to Walmart. And they go, you know what? We love your back scratchers so much. We want 30,000. You go, oh my God, you go up into debt and you do that. And now your other customers, they stop selling your back scratchers. Why? Because the back scratchers are sold for less at Walmart because Walmart's buying 3 times what they're buying. So they go, we can't sell your back scratchers in our local stores because everyone's buying it in Walmart. So they start leaving you. So now you have 90% of your work comes from Walmart. Walmart goes, remember when we were telling you that deal we made last year when we bought all your back scratchers for $2? You went, yeah, great. We're going to pay you $1 now. But you used to say 2. We did. We used to say 2, correct. Now we're saying 1. But you can't say, I can make your money. Yeah, that sucks for you. There's nothing you can get it made in China. Yeah, but that lowers the quality of my back scratcher. Yes. But we have a relationship with our vendors in China, and they will make money too. So use them, and we'll give you $1. But then it's not my back scratcher. Yeah, sucks to be you, doesn't it? That happens all the time. It's called being Walmarted. So as that begins to happen, you're in trouble. But let's say you don't do that. You say, I'm not going to be Walmarted. Once I have someone who has 40%, I would another one so that now I have 2 clients who are giving, say, 20%, 30%, 20%, 10%, like that. If I lose one of them, it sucks, but it doesn't destroy me. I don't go under. In this case of Morgan's fictitious back scratcher, if he says no to Walmart, his business is completely done. He's finished. Over for him. Nice day. He's done. But if he has it the other way, it doesn't work that way. So now you have the big media having 47% of their, dollars coming from the pharmaceutical companies. Well, there's all of a sudden, here comes Bobby Kennedy Jr. going, maybe the stick's not good. And they go, don't you say that? Don't you? We'll pull our advertising. And they go, they pull our advertising. We basically go under. Stick, all good. What stick? All good. Let's just be quiet and walk away. And that's what winds up happening, right? That's the problem. That is what winds up happening. All the time that happens, right? And the second piece becomes, there are certain industries that will buy ads just to control. I'm not joking. There was a time, if you go back about 20 years ago, maybe, you will find a bunch of people in the energy industry who used to buy a bunch of ads on CNN. Why? Well, because they wanted to control the narrative. So I tell this story often because it's stuck in my head. This had to be like the year 2000, 2001, that area. I forgot what it was, something like that. There was a company called Kerr-McGee. Kerr-McGee still exists. But at that time, they were doing a commercial on, I think it was CNN or Fox or one of those states. I forgot which one it was. And it was actually for, I'm not joking, when I tell you this, it was a commercial for offshore drilling rigs, right? So you go offshore, you drill for oil in the rig. Commercial for that. Okay. Who is watching CNN and goes, oh, my God, I don't have enough of offshore drilling rigs. I need like 7. Let me call these guys up and buy it. Never happens ever. So why would you have a commercial like that? To control the narrative. If we control enough of your narrative, boom. That, by the way, is one of the reasons why they push third parties away. You might go, what? Yes, because not only is the big deal pharmaceuticals, what's a second big deal, particularly nowadays? Ads from political parties, Democratic ads, Republican ads. So now I want to put my ad or have my guy on your show to go, I'm not doing that. I do that, they'll cut the ads. Yes, they control the ads that way too. It's a matter of incentives. I know I went long on that. I apologize. I went long. I have a habit of doing that, but there we go.
And Senator Johnson, you.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to add something. Anti-corporatist. Thank you for being a member, by the way. Or just a Raytheon commercial. They don't even sell anything to the public. Exactly. Why? Yes. Why would Raytheon spend money creating commercials? You're not going to go to the Raytheon store, right? Hey, I need to buy a fighter jet. Let me walk to the Raytheon store. Oh, can I get the 2 F-22s in red? That's not a thing, right? You don't do that. Can I take a carrier? I need to on the side that said like USS Cool Guy. I would like that on. Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. But why would I have it? For exactly the reason. Halliburton. You don't go to the Halliburton store. But there we go. Exactly correct. You will have things just. I'm glad you noticed that, AC. That's amazing that you noticed that. Absolutely correct. Yes, absolutely. Jennifer says also, thank you. You're also a member. There wasn't supposed to be career politicians, but I do love Massey and Paul. Agreed. Yes. If we're going to have career politicians, let's have those. I'm with you, Jennifer. Or none. But if we're going to have them, let's do those. I like that. I'm with you.
Gave so many of us extraordinary hope during that period. I honestly don't know what would have happened to this country if you had not been there. And there was an extraordinary personal cost that you paid for it. You and I became not only professional associates, but close personal friends during that period.
Oh, that's very nice.
And you are somebody that, in my mind, was a supervillain prior to the pandemic.
Supervillain.
Now you're one of my biggest heroes.
That's hardcore.
I'm very grateful.
Supervillain. That's hardcore right
there. When discussing improvements to U.S. healthcare policy, politicians from both parties often say that we have the best healthcare system in the world. That is a lie.
That right there is the biggest piece that I want you to hear. Tell me a politician who would say that. I do all the time, but obviously I don't win elections or I wouldn't be here talking to you. Actually, if I won an election, I would still be here talking to you, but just not as often, I guess. But yes, I'd still be here talking to you. I would. So think about what he just said. We don't have the best in the world. Now, here's the critical piece. Do the elites in our country have the best? They do. I know. I live in New York City. It is a very wealthy city with wealthy people here, and it's a two-tiered system. All of the best doctors in New York City, almost all of them, the best doctors, they don't take insurance at all. If you're wealthy, you go to them. You write them a check, $300, $400, whatever is that thing, $150, $200, whatever it is, or swipe your credit card and you go. And you get some of the best healthcare. But if you don't, and if you have insurance, worse if you have Medicare, Medicaid, and by the way, over 50% of New Yorkers are on Medicare/Medicaid. Repeat that. Over 50%. Most New Yorkers are on some form of Medicare or Medicaid. Think about that. They get second-tier health. And people go, we want Medicare for all. Ouch. Ouch. That's the problem. So, Losing Libertarian, thank you for the $5. Movie Fly Me to the Moon. Hollywood is laughing because the fact is the landings were a hoax to beat Russia. Number 3 death is healthcare errors. That was an odd pairing. Okay. I guess I'll watch that movie now. I did watch, I can't touch it now. I'll touch it, but I did watch a movie that boss told me to watch. I did. I'll tell you about that later. Not tonight. Another day we'll do that. But yeah, so another one I got to watch. Okay. I don't know why you mix that with number 3 death, but you're right. Healthcare errors is a huge problem in America. It's everywhere. Why? It's second-tier healthcare. That's the problem. Kennedy's right. If you're super wealthy, our healthcare is awesome. It's great if you're super wealthy. You just pay for private doctors, you pay for private hospitals, you pay for private rooms, or you do what's called medical tourism. That's not a joke either. I know many of you think I'm joking. No. Medical tourism. You literally go away for a week, get your stuff done. You stay at the equivalent of a hotel with services because you're wealthy. You don't mind dropping 10, 20 grand. You're wealthy. You got that for your health. You'll spend that in 5 seconds. You don't care. Yes, he is correct. Weird how you threw that moon thing, but fine. Whatever floats your boat, brother.
The U.S. healthcare system is an existential threat to our country. If the American experiment...
That can't be true. We all know Trump is. Where you been? Haven't you watched the media? Not the healthcare system. It's Trump. He's the threat. Crazy man.
...fails, it will not be because we had the wrong marginal tax rate.
Ooh.
It won't be because we don't have the perfectly optimized level of social safety net spending. It won't be because of the culture war and DEI issues and the media trumpets to orchestrate the division among all of us. No, if America fails, the chief reason will be because we let our country get sicker, more depressed, fatter, more infertile, at an increasing rate while crippling our national security, bankrupting our national budget with healthcare costs.
This is so critical, and Limits Illusion says it perfectly. I trust RFK because of that exact kind of honesty, but I don't trust Trump will keep his word. I would vote for Trump or Kamala if either of them was able to make a mistake, but they just can't. Valid point, Limits. I'm with you on that. But that piece is an important piece. He just said what I've been saying forever. These culture war things don't matter compared to this. And we are fighting on culture war issues, making them number one. To be clear, I'm not saying culture war things don't matter. They do. They're just not the top. Sorry. They should not be the top of our list. They should be bottom of the list relatively compared to, are we dying? Are we having children? Are we depressed? Are we committing self-deletion? Are we doing that? That's the critical piece first, before all the other things, before I care what bathroom somebody uses, or I don't know what I'm called. Those things matter. I want you to respect people. You should respect people. 100%. You should respect people. But which one's more important? Which should be our priority? Well, taxes are too high, tax too low. It doesn't matter if the country goes under. Tax rate should be X, tax rate should be Y. If the country goes under, who cares? But they're bombing or someone's fighting. There's a war in Ukraine. There's a war in Israel. Who cares if the country's dying? Literally what he's saying. The only guy saying it. One more time. The only guy saying it. Harris doesn't say this. Trump doesn't say this. He says it. He's the only one saying it. Because here's the most important thing. Does some war overseas affect you directly? It might not. Depends on who you are. Do you know people? Whatever. Maybe. Does some tax rate directly affect you? It might not. Depends how close you are to paying your rent, what kind of work you have. Maybe. Could. Maybe. Who knows? Does someone dealing with what bathroom they're going affect you? Could. Maybe. Could be. Maybe. Who knows? Does the health of your family and community affect you? Yes. I don't care who you are. Yes. Everyone is affected by this. All of us at one point get sick. All of us at one point have someone in our family who's got an addiction problem, who's got a medical problem, who's got a mental problem, who's got a diabetes problem or a heart disease problem. All of us have someone in our world. If it's not us, all of us, every family can accept this, regardless of all the other things out there. I know I'm a bit uppity. I know I am, but I am because I'm bothered that this has to be the only way we can hear this. This is the only way we can talk about this. When it's the most important thing. The most important thing. That's the piece that matters. Right? That's the piece that is so damn important that people just are not getting. They're almost ignoring it. No, we have to fight about the rest. Morgan brings up, We do have the best if you can afford it. Yes. That should not be true. That should not be true. 100%.
Major pillar of the U.S. healthcare system, as a statement of economic fact, makes money when Americans get sick.
Yes.
The most valuable asset in this country today is a sick child.
I want you, if you would, and I've had a sick child. My daughter almost died 14 years ago. I had a sick child. And there is a saying, luckily she is not sick anymore, which is awesome. All good, all healed. There's a saying among people who've had illness in their children, and I use cancer as an example. And people will say, they'll tell you that the worst sentence you can hear is, you have cancer. And they go, no, it isn't. The worst one you can hear is, your child has cancer. That's worse than you have it. And I would agree. That is. And for those of you who've had children who are ill, you know what you think. I'll take it. Let it be me. I felt that too. That's the worst. And to imagine that the pain that someone goes through when they have a sick child is now a benefit for someone, is a benefit for the system. How cruel is that? How horrible is that? That the ultimate pain parents can feel, and there is no pain worse for a parent than their child being sick and maybe dying, and they can do nothing. Nothing. You'd rather it happen to you. You'd rather it happen to your spouse. Sounds so horrible, but it's true, than happen to your child, and you're helpless. It is. And for those who've been through it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly that feeling of helplessness and regret and powerlessness and anger and unfairness and everything you feel. And to know that the hospital system and the medicine is going, cha-ching, this will be great. That's what he's saying. That's the incentive. That's where we are. And people's answer is Medicare for all. I'm not mad at you for wanting Medicare for all. I just want you to understand that even if you made Medicare for all, it doesn't change this. The entire system must change, or Medicare for all is just as bad as all the other answers. If this doesn't change, all the answers are bad, which is why you don't hear me fighting for Medicare for all, because it doesn't matter. Now we'll all just be screwed. Remember, when people say Medicare for all, these people in Congress, they don't mean Medicare for them. They mean Medicare for y'all, not Medicare for all. Y'all get Medicare. I'm going to my private doctor. I'm wealthy. You could have good luck with that Medicare for all garbage. I'm heading over and I'm going to go to my private doctor, or I'm going to go for medical tourism and drop 20 grand because I'm rich. That's what they're going to be doing. They don't care about you. If it's Medicare for all, guess what's still the most valuable thing? A sick child. It doesn't change. The whole system must change. The whole system must change. Absolutely. 100%.
Pharma industry, the hospital industry, and medical school industry make more money when there are more interventions to perform on Americans.
Yep. There we go. Yes. Right? The anti-corporatist AC says, your dad has cancer, suck too. I know. My mom and my dad both had cancer and both died of cancer. I know. But I will tell you, as bad as those were, and when my dad died, I was a kid. And boy, that sucked. But I was ignorant. So it actually wasn't as bad hearing it because I didn't get it. I thought my dad was Superman, and having cancer just meant, oh, he'll like sleep for a day because I'm 10 and I think my dad's Superman. So cancer can't kill him, right? So yes, that part was bad. But, and my mom, when she got cancer, she was older, right? I was older. I was an adult. I was adult when she was gone. So it was much easier to have that happen. But my kid being sick, brother, worse. AC, worse. I've had all of them. And the worst one was kid. Just saying. That was the worst one. 100%. So anyway, just wanted to make sure I was covering that piece. Yes. He goes, oh, and Medicare for y'all is actually a thing in Texas. It is. I know. It's actually a thing in New York, too. Remember, over 50% of New Yorkers are on some form of Medicare or Medicaid. Over 50%. So all the wealthy New Yorkers, they're not going to Medicare, Medicaid. They just write a check. Yes. 100%. They just write a check. Absolutely.
And by requiring insurance companies to take no more than 15% of premiums, Obamacare actually incentivized insurance companies to raise premiums to get 15% of a larger pie. This is why premiums have increased 100% since the passage of Obamacare.
A lot of people like Obamacare. I get it, because more people have coverage. Okay, I get it. It didn't help. Obamacare was not a win. Obamacare needs to be fixed in some way. The sad part is no one has an answer. That's the problem. That's the problem. Yes. Yes. Missy goes on to say, cancer is a see you next Tuesday. How about that one? Is that a good one? My late fiance died of cancer. I remember, Missy. And 6 weeks later, my dad died of cancer. I remember that too. I despise cancer. Me too. 100%. And this is the part that's weird. When the people who you love get it, it's worse than when you get it sometimes, because you have to watch them go. You think, oh, not me. There was a couple times when I was like, no, I wish it was me. I wish it was me. Yeah, it is terrible. Yes, 100%. So Rachel Axon says, I am late, watching 2 times from the start. Smash like, leave your Al Gore rhythm afterwards. Yes, please do that. He's right. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Yes, AC says, kids the worst. No parents to bury their child. Yeah, 100%. Yes. All righty.
Making healthcare the largest driver of inflation while American life expectancy plummets.
There's the piece. It's not about outcomes, right? So they're making more money, but we're dying faster. How's that work? How does that work?
We spend 4 times per capita on healthcare that the Italians, but Italians live 7.5 years longer than us on average. And incidentally, Americans had one of the highest life expectancies in the world when I was growing up.
Yep.
Today, we've fallen an average of 6 years behind our European neighbors.
Think about that.
Are we lazier and more suicidal than Italians? Or is there a problem with our system?
Mm-hmm.
Are there problems with our incentives?
Yes.
Are there problems with our food?
Let me grab the incentive piece if I could right now. I'm going to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but I hope you enjoy the hole I'm going to go down. The incentives are critical, and there has been a shift, right? And I'm going to use this in a weird way. I'm going to use the gym membership and other things in the public sector. Let me just start chatting for a bit if I could. This is important. People say, Larry, you're a libertarian. So what the hell is your answer? You sit here and complain. I do complain. It's true. But I also have answers. It's not just me complaining. I'm going to continue to complain. But I also have answers. And I look at the gym membership model. The gym membership model is you pay X dollars per month. And how does a gym make money? I go, well, you coming. The opposite. What a gym wants is you to pay your X dollars per month and never show. Or show just enough to feel like you might want to keep paying your gym membership. They don't want you there every day. That's not helpful for them. That's more wear and tear on the machines. That's more people they got to hire. They don't want that. They would hope you pay your whatever, $100 a month or whatever the gym membership where you are is, and come like once a month so you can pretend like you're doing something and keep paying. That's what they want. It is literally in their best interest for you to not show up. That's awesome for them. That'd be amazing. They would love that. You might go, Larry, how's that good? Because the opposite is true with doctors. Doctors make no money if you don't show up. If you're not sick, they don't make money. This is his entire point. The best is a sick kid. Why? Because if I'm the dad and I'm sick, I might stay home. I might not care. I might not buy my medicine. I might punish myself. If it's my kid, I will do whatever it takes to fix my kid. It does not matter. If I don't have the money, I'll go to grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt, niece, nephew. I'm going wherever. I'm getting that money. I'm selling stuff. Doesn't matter. I'm getting that money. That guy's getting paid, and he knows it. That's why the kid is so good versus me being sick. I might just let myself die. That happens. Sadly, in America, that still happens. It shouldn't, but it does. So it's the opposite. You might go, Larry, how can you're not going to a doctor unless you, yes, you're right. But there is an industry that's made that change. There's an industry that's made the change from the I'm sick to I need to keep myself not sick. And that is the IT industry. Yes, the tech industry. For those who've been around for a couple of years, you would know that back in the day, the tech industry was basically the same kind of industry. It was called at the time the break fix model. When your computers or your servers don't work, we would come in, fix them, and you'd pay us by the hour. What does that mean? We couldn't wait for your shit to fail. Couldn't wait. Hope it'll break because we don't get paid if it doesn't. And that's how it used to work. And people get mad and get upset. People would wait. We'll do stuff. Oh, beat the disaster. Disaster. What happens now? They've changed it now. It's very rare to not have it this way. This is a model where it's not break fixed. It's not break fixed. You pay a flat fee, either per server or per workstation or some combination, whatever that is. You pay that every month. That's what you pay. Doesn't matter. If everything breaks, nothing breaks. You pay that fee every month. So what's the incentive now for the IT company to make sure nothing ever breaks? In their perfect world, you are smooth sailing and they get their check every month and you're just smooth. It's in their best interest. It's in their best interest to make sure you get all the updates, that there's no viruses. That is in their best interest. So you will, generally speaking, have better service because your interests are aligned. Your incentives are aligned. The goal is your stuff never goes down. I don't have to show up and fix it. Life is good. I get my check every month. You get to keep working with all your IT stuff. Win-win. There are examples of that now in America now, but they get shut down by government regulators constantly, all the time. Here's what has happened and has been shut down by regulators more than once. So I decide that I want to have a doctor's office. I have a doctor's office and I say, if you want to join my doctor's office, you pay, and these have been real numbers. Numbers that make up aren't made up. These are real numbers. $150 a month. Come whenever you want, $5. It's all it costs. They tried this with $0 visits. The problem with $0 visits is senior citizens would show up every day to hang out. Nothing better to do. That actually happened. That happened. Was it Japan? Some East Asian country did that, where they had $0, no free visits, and senior citizens showed up every single day to hang out. So that charged them something. So they charged them a minimal fee. I'm saying the fee is $5. Everyone can afford, no matter who you are, you can afford $5 to have a doctor visit. Anyone can afford that. So it's $5. Come as much as you want, or never, or whatever. $5 per visit. Whatever you have, I help you out, blah, blah. It's all good. I don't have to make my money on prescriptions. Right now, every time you go to a doctor, if you have insurance, here's how it actually works. You walk to a doctor who has insurance. There are 3 administrators and 2 doctors. There's more administrators than doctors, and they care more about photocopying and getting data than anything else, filling out your form, than anything else. You are secondary. You are in the way, right? So get your stuff, give me your stuff, and then go sit down. The room is an old room. It's not very comfortable. Your appointment is for 3:00. You get seen at 4:45, maybe, and they rush you through, trying to get sometimes 20 or 30 or 40 patients a day. I'm not joking. Why? That's how they get paid. They got to run you through so they can get paid. That's all they care about. You're in the way. By the time you see a doctor, he or she sees you for maybe 5 minutes. That's all, maybe 5 minutes. And after they're done, it ends everything the same way. A prescription, a procedure, or a test. Every time. Why? That's how he gets paid. That's why you always get one of those 3 every time. A procedure, a prescription, or a test. Well, it's because because that's how he gets paid. That's his incentive. You've seen this. Doctors will give a prescription for aspirin. Yes, Tylenol. Prescription for it. Why? You can just go buy it at Walgreens, CVS, whatever. Nope. They make money on it. That's why. That's why they give you prescriptions for everything. Doesn't matter what it is. Every single time, that's how it winds up happening again and again and again. Now, what if you don't have insurance and you're wealthy? Right? Okay, first off, if you have insurance, you call up your doctor. He sees you 7 weeks from next Friday. That's when you get seen. You're like, I'm in trouble now. I guess you're going to urgent care because I can't see you. I'm packed. You're wealthy. You call up your doctor. Can you come in at 7? 3, 2. When can you come in today? Can I come in at 5? Yeah, come on in at 5. Done. You get your appointment that day because you're wealthy. You go in that day, get your appointment. Your appointment's at 5. You get seen latest 5:05. Latest. Your appointment's at 5. Why? Because you're the customer. You're no longer in the way. There's maybe one receptionist and there's 3 or 4 doctors. Admin costs are gone because you're swiping your credit card or giving him a check. Doctor, when he talks to you, the doctor actually asks you questions like, how are you sleeping? What's your stress level? How are you eating? Right? What's your activity level? What's going on in your life? They ask you questions, talk to you. Why? They got paid. You swiped your card already. They don't need to give you a prescription. They don't have to see 25 people in a row because Medicaid will only give them $25. You just gave them $150. They got tons of time for you. When Medicaid gives them $25, they got no time for you. When you're going to write them a check or give them a swipe your credit card for $150, they got time for you. What's going on? How you feeling? And they give you real advice. And they give you tests that matter, or they don't give them. In fact, the test might be done there. Yeah, which might even include in your $150. Might happen. Depends on how they have it. That's how the wealthy get it. Of course, wealthy guys often go $300 for an hour. $300 just to be seen. Could cost $300. But you get actual doctors talking with you, asking about what's going on, treating you like a human being, because you are paying them. You're the customer. I want more people to be treated like customers. And we can do that if we get away from this break-fix model into the model I was talking about. Now imagine this model, as I just brought up. You pay $150 per month. And that was an actual, I forgot the name of the company, actually was doing this. $150 per month. And that would include, if you wanted to, you could do telemedicine if you wanted to. Up to you. You could go in if you wanted to, or do tele. They didn't care, whichever one. Tele might have been cheaper, but I think it was $5 no matter what, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been $5 tele, or if you show up. Either one, it was $5 no matter what. So if you preferred tele, you did tele. If you preferred in person, you choose, you do what you want. You can pick. There's $5. Now, here's what happens. What if you don't show up for 6 months? Or like me, I don't go to the doctor every 4 years. So they're breaking in the money for me. But what if you only go to the doctor every couple years? Or once a year, once every 6 months? They're good. You're comfortable. You're good. You get actual help. They tell you what to do. You feel good. They're making money. Life is good. Now, let me give you a larger example. This begins to happen. And this is Missy's. She's the doctor, and she's a good general practitioner. But she realizes that she has a lot of people who are coming in who are women who would like to have maybe a gynecologist. They would. She goes, okay. And she hires somebody, and she brings somebody in. She brings in a gynecologist. Now, when she brings a gynecologist in, how does your cost change? It doesn't. You're still paying $150. It doesn't change. You're still paying the $150. When she brings in gynecologist Pinkerbell, then you're just paying $150. But now you get to see a gynecologist too. Doesn't change. Maybe it's $5 for the regular, and then maybe it's $10 for the gynecologist, whatever the case may be. But now you're getting another great service for both. Will they start making tons of money? People start showing up. Awesome. So they wind up getting an X-ray machine, or they get a radiation machine, whatever. They get the machine that whatever they need, right? They get the PET scan or whatever. They buy the machine, and they hire a radiologist. So now, how much is your radiologist? Maybe $5. Yes, that could happen. It's shut down by regulation all the time. That's the way you could make it happen. That's the way you could do it. I'll add on. What if this place now wants to have mental health? They could if they wanted to. Imagine if you had this. This would be creating a hospital. You might go, wow, that'd be amazing. Something that you may not know. You know what else Obamacare made illegal? I'm not joking here. Doctors cannot own hospitals. Yes, that is a federal law. Obamacare. Doctors cannot own hospitals. It's against the law. Do you understand how stupid that is? I'm not making that up. I'm not joking. That's an actual law. Doctors cannot own hospitals. Yeah. What does that mean? Oh, it means finance companies have to own them. What a surprise. I have to have CEOs for hospitals. Isn't that great? That's how awesome Obamacare is. That's how awesome that would work. It's nothing but bad. Our system's just a disaster. Let me grab a couple of these if I could. Thank you, Lunatic, for the $5. Eat real food, no human inventions, no pharmaceuticals, no stick at birth, no C-section, epidural, only natural-born humans, docs used as needed. That would be amazing. I think that would be amazing. The question becomes, for many people, how many people know that's a thing? Number one, right? This goes to education piece. Second, how many people are able to make that happen? Another piece. Some people, be very forward. While everyone can eat in America, right? Starving is not a thing. That's not, people say, how many people are starving? No one's, that's not no one. Almost no one, less than 20 people out of 330 million starve to death in America. Starving to death is not a thing. The people who starve to death in America are either those who are like addicts who have starved themselves because they spent all their money on their drug and they are basically voluntarily starving themselves, or older people who have issues and starve themselves, or babies who have illnesses and we just let them die, things like that. That's how people starve to death in America, right? It's not a thing where people can't get food. But boy, nutrition, that's a problem, right? Americans don't have a caloric intake problem. They have a nutrition problem. Like there's no tomorrow. That's the problem. And the problem is, do people know that? And some don't. They're like, well, no, this is fine. I'm eating food. I'm fine. They're not. So that too, pharmaceuticals, I would agree with you. But if you have Medicare, Medicaid, as most New Yorkers do, that's all they tell you. They don't give you an option. They don't give you an option. The option is which pharmaceutical. That's the option. They don't give you the option of not doing a stick if you want to go to school. They don't give you this option. Again, as is normal, Lunatic, I'm agreeing with you. I just don't see a way for most people to do it. This tends to be our way, isn't it? It's kind of our way. Ryan, thank you for $10. I appreciate it. Isn't it wild that the government that works with the pharmaceutical companies to come out with a blue pill for old men, but very little progress in curing cancer? All about profits for both. This goes back. You bring a very valid point, Ryan. Thank you for being a member. This is a very important point. All the money is not in the cure. The money's in the treatment. Data that you may not know, some people may not know this, of every dollar the US spends on research, medical research, guess what percentage goes to prevention? 2%. 2. The rest goes to treatment. Why? A whole lot more money in a once-a-day pill. And now people are getting tired of the once-a-day pill. You notice this? What's all the new stuff? It's a once-a-week pill. Oh, because I have too many once-a-day pills. So now I have like 7 once-a-day pills and then 1 once-a-week pill. I have that. And the other one now is it's just 4 yearly injections. That's the new thing. So I can't do it every day, but you know what? Every 4 weeks I get my injection. But no matter what, I keep coming back and back and back. And I keep coming back. Yes. So they're not trying to cure cancer. They want to treat cancer. This is an old joke from and he was right. This was Chris Rock years ago. He was talking 20 years ago, more, whatever it was. I forgot. It was a long time ago. One of his comedy skits. He's one of his comedy specials. He says, you don't understand. The money's in the comeback. The money's not in the cure. The money's in the comeback. He goes, he said, they haven't cured anything since polio. That's what he says. They haven't cured anything since polio. They don't cure anything anymore. And he's right. They don't. So that's what he says. He says, there's going to be a time when they don't cure anything. They just treat everything. He does a joke. He's like, scratch guy going, oh yeah, my AIDS acting up. My AIDS is acting up. I got my AIDS. Like, you're going to live with AIDS. Yeah, that's literally true. This was a skit he did like 20 years ago, and it's literally true. So, Ryan, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. Sadly, but you are absolutely correct. 100%. So, all right. Let's see here. Morgan goes on and says, Russell Brand has a bit about how companies profit from emergencies. Yeah, urgent care, things like that. 100%. Yes, 100%. It's all over the place. I yapped away a lot. I told you I was going. Let me go back to what he was saying because he still has some gold. I got to tell you, Kennedy has said some great stuff here that literally no one else is saying. This is stuff nobody else is saying.
COVID epidemic with the highest body count of any country in the world.
Hear that?
We had 17% of the COVID deaths in this country. We only had 4.2% of the world's population.
Do you hear that? 17% of the virus deaths with 4% of the virus of the population. But I thought the lockdowns were going to work. I thought 7 days to whatever the curve, whatever. But here's the piece that people aren't counting on that. While that's probably true on all the bad things we did, also a lot of the actual virus deaths were not actual virus deaths. How do I know that? Because in New York State, as I said, hospitals are paid by the government. They're run by the government in New York State. Other states too, but New York State completely run by the government. We actually have government healthcare. It runs everything. So the government told hospitals that you may not do any extra stuff. You must only deal with emergencies and the virus. That's it, nothing else, or we won't pay you. We will not pay you for Medicare and Medicaid. And that's the vast majority of where these hospitals make their money, plus the extra stuff they do, like the extra cosmetic and non-essential stuff is where hospitals make a lot of their money. And the government said, you may not do that, or we will not pay you. Well, literally the government, the hospital would have to shut down. It could not pay its people. It will have to shut down. So they did it. And they said, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it up to you. For every person who you take care of that has the virus, we're going to give you a bunch of cash. I believe it was $26,000. I forgot, but it was a big chunk like that. So this literally was what happened. And if you think I'm making this up, do your homework. It has absolutely happened. It was very common. So now there's a guy doing some crazy stuff on a motorcycle. He gets to a motorcycle accident, dies. They bring him into the hospital, dead on arrival, do a COVID test. Virus test. Do a virus test. He's got the virus, COVID death. I'm not joking. That was a real thing. And I'm sure it happened all over the country. But again, I know New York better than all the states. This is like my place. I know this place. I'm sure it happened in other states too, but I'm 100% sure it happened in New York. That kind of thing happened constantly. Why? Well, because if it's a motorcycle death, you only get whatever, $5,000 or whatever you get. But if he got the virus, you get 5 times that. So boom, done. So while I'm sure our policies were garbage, on top of it, we were incentivized to lie. Well, wait a minute. Are you saying doctors are liars? No, people want to keep the hospital open. People want to keep the hospital open. And the only way the government will allow you to do it is to lie. So they lied. And you might go, that makes them bad. No, it makes them want to keep the hospital open. If someone puts a gun to your kid and goes, I'm going to kill your kid if you don't lie to me, you'll lie to him all day. I wouldn't be mad at you for that. You're keeping your kid alive. Lie all day. Say all kind of things. Who cares? That's what was happening. So he is correct. Absolutely. Sassy D says, thank you, Larry. The health is affecting us all in some ways. The pain we go through and our families is unbearable. Yes. It's even worse for those that'll die with no help because it's a rare disease. Yes. Because there's no cash in curing the rare disease. Yes. No cash in curing the rare disease.
We literally had the worst record of any country in the world.
Mm-hmm. The worst.
Oh, this should have been a blaring wake-up call to our weakened American immune systems. Our health leaders said that COVID was a pharmaceutical deficiency.
Oh.
This was a lie.
I want you to hear what he just said. Instead of us saying, wait a minute, maybe this could be our immune system, right? Because if you look at who were the people who were dying of it more than anything, it was people who were older and who had compromised immune systems. That was the most common people who passed, right? Other people did too, but that was the most common. Particularly if you were over, if I remember right, it was if you're over 65 and had 2 separate comorbidities or more, and usually if you had a compromised immune system. And instead of saying, oh, we have a problem with our immune system, like we are not healthy, right? We are not healthy. So that's the problem. No. Not enough drugs. That's your problem. If you just got more drugs, you'd be fine. I wish I was joking. That's literally what they said. No, just more drugs. You don't have enough. Okay, I know you're taking 6 pills, take 7. I know you get 55 jabs, get 56. Just keep jabbing, keep pilling, and you'll be fine. Clearly, that's not true. But he just said it. That was a lie. When I was in the Marine Corps, they used to call it NBC, nuclear biological chemical, right? It's called something else now. I forgot what it's called now. That's back in the day. And they were teaching us, how do you defend against these things? What do you do when you're in combat? Nuclear, of course, against an actual strategic nuke, there's no defense, you're just dead. But against a tactical nuke, there were ways of trying to defend yourself from the blast, getting all of the fallout off of you, getting back to the decontamination site. I mean, we went through all of the drills and all these things. I deal with these issues. Chemical, how to put on the suit, how to put on the mask, how to clear the mask, what to do when you feel the burning in your eyes, what to do when you get blisters on all the things, how to handle all these things and be able to fight in combat. Biological, be in good health. Done. That was the advice. Be in good health. Be in amazing shape. Eat right, sleep, exercise. That was what the Marine Corps told you. Be in good shape, damn it. That's how you get past the biological agent. And the biological agent is a virus. That's what it is. How do you get past it? Being in shape. Having a strong immune system. Eating well. Sleeping well. All the things. Where was that during the lockdowns? Oh, right. Nowhere is where that was. Nowhere. Nobody said that. Kennedy is right. He said what they said, which is more drugs. See, that's your problem. If you just put more drugs in your body, then you'd be fine.
We have the highest chronic disease rate on earth. And according to the CDC, the average American who died from COVID had on average 3.8 chronic diseases.
I knew it was over 2. 3.8. 3.8 chronic disease average. Jesus Christ. More drugs. More drugs. It's that meme, Kylo Ren. More. It's that meme. More drugs.
So these were people who had immune system collapse, who had mitochondrial dysfunction. And no other country has anything like this.
Correct.
2/3 of American adults and children suffer from chronic health issues.
Think of that.
50 years ago, that number was 1%. When my uncle was president, about 1% of the children in this country had chronic disease. Today, that
1%.
number may be as high as 60%.
Crazy.
In America, 74% of Americans are now overweight or obese.
Yep.
Including 50% of our children. 120 years ago, when somebody was obese, they were sent to the circus. There were case reports written about them. Obesity was virtually unknown. Today, almost 50% of teens in the United States are overweight or obese. In Japan, the childhood obesity rate is 3%. Half of Americans have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes.
Think about that. Half of Americans have either pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes. Think about that. That's astounding. Absolutely astounding.
When I was 10 years old and my uncle was president, a typical pediatrician would see one case of type 2 juvenile diabetes during his 40 or 50-year career. Today, 1 out of every 3 children who walk through his office door is diabetic or pre-diabetic.
Wow.
And
it's literally killing our children, and we're having debates about golf swings. Am I making that up? We're having debates about golf swings and whether or not people in Ohio are eating the cats and dogs, when 1 out of 3 of our kids have diabetes. Where was that question in our debate? Where was that question? I didn't see it. Nobody cared. It doesn't matter. This, by the way, this is the man that they censored for years. This is the man that the Democratic Party calls crazy or a kook. That's this guy. The guy who actually gives a shit about your family and your kids. That's the crazy one. But the regular one just cackles and says, freedom and joy. That should work. Freedom and joy while your family is dying. Freedom and joy while your parents get cancer. Freedom and joy while your kids get diabetes. Freedom and joy while your uncle is an addict and ODs. Freedom and joy while your aunt is an alcoholic and has liver failure. Freedom and joy. That'll be fine. Freedom and Joy, where everybody you know is on some form of daily pill. Freedom and Joy. Don't worry. Freedom, joy, all good. This guy's the crazy guy. This one's the nutty one. You keep believing that shit.
It's causing, and diabetes, and the same mitochondrial disorder that causes diabetes is also causing the epidemic of Alzheimer's in this country.
Alzheimer's disease now is actually called by some people type 3 diabetes. I knew for some of you it blew your mind when I just said that. But yes, that's a thing now. It's called type 3 diabetes. Yes. So all the things you're eating, all the problems we're having, yes, that's the issue. Guys, I hope you're liking what I'm doing. I hope it makes sense. I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, right now, take your right index finger and click the button known as like. It is important that you do that with only, right index or left index. Otherwise, it doesn't count. So please click the button that is known as like so that more people can see this. I get shadow banned. I'm talking about him. You know I'm getting shadow banned on this one. You know I'm getting demonetized. So do me a favor, click that button right now. If you're watching on either Twitter, X/X, or Facebook, or any of those, please share this in some way, shape, or form. If you're not sharing it, you are telling me that you hate children. You hate children. If you don't share this, you hate children. Do you hate children? You don't hate them. Then share it then. That's how it works. If you are watching on YouTube, and I hope you're watching on Larry Sharpe YouTube, they're all good. They'll watch, it's on more than one YouTube. Watch whichever one. But if you are watching on any YouTube, subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, follow. If you're watching on Twitter, follow. Don't just watch, you cheater. Don't cheat. Subscribe and click the button for notifications. Do that, cheater. Why are you watching and not subscribing? Why are you watching and not following? What's wrong with you? Cheater, this is free. Now, if you don't want to be free, it's fine. Don't subscribe. But instead, super chat me. It goes to the front. You see it? Super chat me is fine. Or if you want to, become a member. Look, become a member, and now we're now besties. We can do hot yoga together if you just click the join button. Click join, $5 per month, and hot yoga. Come on, that is amazing. I'm lying. I'm not doing hot yoga with you, but that's fine. It was a funny idea. Just imagine that. In the bunker, too. That's the best. In the bunker, we'll do the hot yoga. It'll be amazing. We'll love it. $5 per month. Click that join button. It does matter if you can. Please do that. Every bit counts. Every like counts. Every share counts. I'm trying to make sure that my shadow banning goes away. The only way I can do it is by pushing through. So let's please keep that going to the best of our ability. So, yes. Ryan, thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. And for being super chatting and being a member. VA motto should be pills are good. I'm going to tell you about the VA. I'm going to do the second piece. The second piece on this, right? I talked about having a better system in general for the average person, for the veteran. This is the problem with the VA. Here's what the VA should do. The VA should stop trying to be a massive hospital system. It's a terrible idea. The VA does some things good. Like one thing the VA does very good is the VA does education very well. If you want to go to school and you're a veteran, oh my God, the VA is amazing. They know exactly where to go, how to do it, get through stuff, get you to cash, get you to school. Awesome. As a hospital system, they're mediocre at best, in some cases terrible. What should they do? They should sell off all of their assets, every single asset, every hospital, every clinic, every bed, piece of equipment, everything. Massive sell it all off. Throw it all into a massive fund. Get it backed by the federal government and become an insurance company. That's it. Do that. Sell every asset. Throw it all into a fund. Back that fund by some form of FDIC insurance and become an insurance company. And just let every veteran have a card and and make an insurance company. And now veterans who want to support that, make it better, you put veterans on the board of that insurance company. And if wealthy veterans, and there are many of them, want to support that to make it better, they can. You make that run by veterans. The VA should be for veterans, by veterans. It should be a privatized insurance company that is chartered by the federal government, that it must serve only veterans. A special piece of legislation just for that. Similar to the post office. Similar. Right? But run by veterans, for veterans. That's how that would work. That is the answer. Now things get better. Otherwise, you're right. It becomes pills are good. The amount of vets I know who go on pills and then still have problems. It's actually embarrassing. I'm glad you brought that up, Ryan. It's actually embarrassing. It absolutely is.
Which is now classified as diabetes. And it's costing this country more than our military budget every year. It is a crisis that 77% of our kids are too disabled to serve in the United States military. In my generation, the odds and rate of autism were about 1 in 10,000.
1 in 10,000.
And in my kids' generation, 1 in every 34 children. In the state of California, where I live, it's 1 in 22.
This thing that is terrible. This thing is terrible. I see it in my daughters trying to find boys. My daughter's like, every other guy I meet is on a spectrum. And she still dates them, but I'm just saying, she's like every other guy she meets. Like, wow, is it that bad? It's crazy. There's so many kids on a spectrum now. So many. I think everybody probably watching knows someone on a spectrum, either family, friend, something. I have a niece on a spectrum. Everyone I know has someone on a spectrum. That wasn't true when I was a kid. I mean, we had kids on a spectrum when we didn't know if it was called autism then. I had no idea, but we knew kids who on a spectrum, we knew it. Didn't matter. Kim says, outlaw all insurance. I don't want to outlaw them. I want to not have them controlled by the government so that they can be fairer. I want better rules for it. I think that's better. Mary says, liked and already subscribed. Thank you. Yes. Joel says, my daughter. Yes, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Picklebell says we didn't find each other. Are you on a spectrum, Picklebell? It's everywhere. 100%. That's crazy. It's everywhere. Yes. So absolutely. All righty. Mario asks, can you run against AOC, please? No. Let me tell you why I'm not going to run against AOC. She is my congressperson, and I could run against her because it will make no impact. Because it will make no impact. This is New York City. In my area, they don't even bother running people against them anymore. Democrats win every time. The primary is all that matters. If I try to run a Democratic primary as Democrat, I will never win. I'm not establishment, so I'll lose at a primary. If I run against her, I'll get my butt kicked. Why would I bother you, bug you all for money, time, and energy if I can't make impact? I run for impact. Otherwise, I'm not going to run. I can make no impact against her. Doesn't matter. I appreciate the thought, but no. I'm not going to bug you, ask you, do all those things so I cannot make impact. Makes no sense to me. Thank you anyway, though. Morgan says, have a side effect from medication? We have a pill for that. That blew my mind when I first saw that, Morgan. When that first came out, when they were like, are you having a side effect from blah, blah, blah? We have a pill from them. Like, what? So there's a pill for the pill. And they did that with a straight face. Like it wasn't even a joke. Like, yeah. Oh, we got a pill for that. Well, pill for that too. What? Why didn't you just mix it into the first pill? Or why are we even doing pills? Like, no, it doesn't work. Whatever you got, we got a pill. Your car broke down, we got a pill for that. It's good. We could. Don't worry about it. That was with a straight face. That part, that's crazy. Yes. Lunatic, back again, my friend. $5. Thank you. I'm a vet. I read the Bush Jr. initiatives for veterans. Will send chills through you. Left, never went back. PTSD counselor killed. Wow. Fort Hill 2009. Yeah. That piece. You know, look, I'll give you another little story about the VA that I thought was pretty bad. This is a separate issue. Back in 2009, maybe 8 in that area, maybe a little after, maybe 2011, 2010, in that area. I used to do a lot of work with veterans. And because I'm a business trainer and coach, what I would do is I would teach veterans how to transition, right? You're leaving the military, how to get a job, resume skills, networking, those types of skills, interview skills, stuff like that. Or when you have guys who were, particularly in Afghanistan was terrible this way, they sent a lot of reservists there. So reservists is there sometimes for as long as 15 months, but 6 months to 15 months in that area, sometimes as long as 15 months, they'd be away and come back. Well, their job's gone, right? The guy can't keep the job open. He's not supposed to, but he does, or he doesn't have a good job for him anyway. So it's over. So how did he find new jobs? Well, I went to the VA and said, let me help you. And by the way, for free. I wasn't charging the VA or anybody. It was free. I will just do it. I will just give up my weekend. I will go out. I'll do a 2-day full seminar. I'll walk through all the resumes. I'll do it all for free. Done. I would just do it just to help my brothers and sisters. I would do it. And the VA gave me a rubric on what I had to do. And I said, okay, I'm in the field, right? Like I hire and fire people. Like I'm an officer in a public company. Like I do this for a living. They're like, yeah, but you gotta fill out a rubric. Okay, but your rubric is shit. It's 15 years old. It means nothing. It's utter garbage. No, my way is the right way. I'm a guy who will hire them. I interview people. This is my field. No, follow the rubric. I said, I'm done. I'm not joking. This is probably like, I don't know, 2009, 2010. They were like, what matters is, I'm not joking when I say this, the kind of paper the resume is on. Those days were over for 10 years, 20 years then. And they were like, you have to talk about that. No, I don't. No one gives a shit what color, what kind of paper your resume's on. No one does. No one's sending out paper resumes anymore. Nobody cares. What are you doing? These guys who are all coming back and they want like labor jobs. No one cares. They were fighting on that. So I had to go to private companies, private charities like Yellow Ribbon. I work for Yellow Ribbon Fund. Place like that. I had to go to those because they were like, oh my God, somebody wants to give us free stuff? Yes, please. Someone who's actually in the business world will come and teach our veterans? Yes, for free. Yes, please. They were like, here's a room, go. And I did. And I would take weekends. I would go to Boston. I would do it in New York. I didn't care. I did it at John Jay College too. I just go to college. I would just do it. Yes, but only private sector. The VA made it so hard that I wouldn't work with them. I would rather say no. Anyway, a little bit off topic. I know I do have a habit of walking down these, but I will anyway. So yes. All right. Let's see here if I can go down here. Kim says pills are designed to make you sicker, so you can justify giving you more pills. Kim, I wish you were wrong, but you are correct. I wish you were wrong. Yes, absolutely. I wish you were wrong, but man, it is so true. 100%. Yes. All right. Let me see if I can go here. A couple of these. Pinkerbell says, free yourself, torch the rubric. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So, all righty. Let me see if I go down here some more if I can. Let me grab some more of these. Here we go.
And by the way, there has been no change in diagnosis, which is the industry alibi.
Yes. There's no change in diagnosis all of a sudden for autism. That they say, well, it's different in diagnosis. That's not true. Yes, that's interesting. Matt, thank you for being a member, my friend. Matt says, I'm not joking. Trademark, Larry Sharpe, 2024. The problem is the stuff I'm saying sounds unreal. Like I understand if I say it, you would think I'm joking, right? The stuff I'm saying is nuts. So you would think, oh, clearly, he's just kidding. No, that's the worst part. The stuff I'm saying isn't a joke. That's the hard part. Gene says, I like and shared. Here's my first comment. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that tremendously. That is amazing. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Yes. Lindsay, again, thank you for the $5. People forget mass shootings happen. Oh, now I'm going to get really gone. On military installations, not just schools. Holistic is best. Healers for real. This is a part. There was another woman who was speaking. It was Means. What is her name? Means her last name. There's two Means, man and woman. I think they're brother and sister. The sister was speaking about exactly this. She was talking about the idea of how we have specialists and how specialists do matter and are important. But one of the problems is specialists, the way the system works is they don't integrate. So they don't realize that the whole body matters. Everything matters. While you may need a specialist for a specific part of the body, you may also need a generalist to kind of see how that works together. It's a very valid point. She talked about it during this. This is 4 hours long. I just picked his initial piece, but the whole thing's 4 hours long. If you want to watch it, it is actually amazing. You're exactly correct, Lunatic. That is an accurate issue.
Study after study, there's been no change in screening either. Study after study shows that this is a change in incidence. We are in the midst of an epidemic.
100%.
Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? These are the most precious assets that we have in this country. How can we let this happen to them? How can we call ourselves a moral nation?
Yep.
The exemplary democracy in the world if we are treating our children like this. About 18% of American teens now have fatty liver disease.
Yep.
That disease, when I was a boy, only affected late-stage alcoholics who were elderly. Cancer rates are skyrocketing in the young and old.
Yep.
Young adults.
Cancer rates in the youth are skyrocketing. Wow. Absolutely. Stay healthy says her name is Casey Means. She wrote good. Thank you. I have an amazing chat. Thank you, Stay Healthy Gal 24. Casey Means, yes. And she was brilliant. If you have time to watch it, I have it here. If I might pop a little bit of it. She was brilliant in what she said and how she was thinking. Casey's brilliant. In fact, Casey was on, was it Tucker? I forgot. She did a interview recently. So yes, and yeah. Oh, and Joel. Yes, Googled Callie and Casey Means. There we go. Yes. Pinkerbell asked, thank you again for being a member, Pinkerbell. When was this panel recorded? 2 days ago? Yesterday? Recently? I think yesterday. Might have been today, Pinkerbell, to tell you the truth. I got it today, right? I got it today. Someone threw it at me today. So I'm usually a day late, so I assume yesterday. But you know what? It might have been today. I got it thrown at me today, so it might have been today. I don't know. Yes. It might have been a thing. So as soon as I get it, I grab it. And Liberty of Death, thank you for this, Liberty of Death. Yes, it was Tucker and what her and her brother exposed blew my mind. Yes, thank you. If you have a moment to watch, if you care about this, you can check out the Tucker Carlson one when she spoke. She was brilliant. Yes, absolutely. So Patty says, Larry, that is Saranac Lake, New York's motto. Look at the whole person. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that, Patty. You know, I travel and around the state, and I did not know that. You taught me something new today. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Yes. And Stay Healthy says it was live today. Thank you. Okay, it was live today. I knew it was soon, right? I knew it was recent soon. I knew it was recent because usually I get thrown at this. I'm lucky in that people know I do this, so they often throw things at me. It comes at like I get it in my DMs or something like that. Hey, did you see this? You see that? You see this? I get it often. I got this in my DM. That's how I knew about this happening. So yes, 100%. Craig, how are you, sir? Taxpayer funded $1,500 per treatment for Ozempic for each patient for the rest of their lives is the ultimate corporate welfare handout to big weight loss. 100% true. Oh my God. Yes. 100% true, Greg. You hit it perfectly. It's another big, here's more money to big weight loss. Yes. 100%.
Cancers are up 79%. And 1 in 4 American women is on antidepressant medication.
Yes. Have you heard that?
40% of teens have a mental health diagnosis.
Let me cover 2 of those pieces. 40% of women, I'm sorry, is that what you say? 1 in 4 women is on some form of antidepressant. And most of those are not younger women. Older women in America are horribly suffering compared to others. You go back about 15 years, that was men. That's not true anymore. Younger men are suffering. Older men in America now are doing better. Older men are doing better and better. They're recovering from the problems of about 15 years. They are recovering. Younger men are hurting. Younger women are doing fine in general compared. Older women are hurting. Higher forms of alcoholism, antidepressants, they are hurting badly in America right now. A lot of people are going through these problems. It's not good. Do I want all the moms in this country to be on meds? Do I want the moms in this country to be in trouble? No, they're the moms. We would like them to not be in trouble. That's not a good thing. It's bad. It's completely correct. And the kids. My daughter was teasing me. She said, Dad, you and I are special. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, neither one of us is on any meds. And she was joking, but she wasn't joking, right? She's like, all my friends, right? A lot of them are on some kind of medication, on something. And a lot of guys my age are on some type of medication, and I'm not either. So that is really a specific piece. That's funny. So yes. Ryan, thank you for the $5, my friend. I appreciate it. You say, I'm not joking because it comes to the government. Yes, when it comes to yes. Yeah. It's too idiotic. It's too idiotic to be true becomes true. The insanity renders us speechless. Yes. Like the things I'm saying make no sense. So you'd be like, that Larry, that's stupid. They don't do that. And I'm like, no. They're doing that. Yeah. The dumb thing that you would never do. You would say, well, I wouldn't do that. That's stupid. Yeah. And they're doing it. That's why I have to keep saying it, because people can't believe it. I know. When I talk sometimes, I do a lot of live events, obviously, right? Particularly when I cross New York State, I do a lot of live events. I've seen Patty at many of those live events. So yes. So I'll do a live event. She's up in Plattsburgh. So if I'm up in that area, sometimes I'll see her. And she knows I'll just do an event. And I'll say things and I'll answer questions. And I can look in the faces of the people in the event. And they're like, what? Huh? And I have to go, no, I'm serious. Or some will laugh when I say it, assuming it's a joke. I'm like, no, it's not a joke. It's real. It's real. So thank you for that. But sadly, it's often too true.
15% of high schoolers are on Adderall.
50%.
And 500,000 American children are on SSRIs. No other country has anything like this.
Yep.
So what's causing all of this suffering? I'll name two culprits. First and worst is ultra-processed foods. 70% of American children's diets is now ultra-processed, which means industrial manufacturing.
That should blow your mind. 70% of American children's diets are ultra-processed foods, and we wonder why our kids are sick. We shouldn't wonder. We shouldn't wonder. Yes, you should not wonder. It's absolutely a problem. I am insane. Whenever my oldest daughter comes home, she's in college now. Whenever she comes home, I always make sure that I cook 2 meals a day, at least for her every day. Yeah, I do. I ensure she gets at least 2 cooked meals every day. And you might say, well, Larry, where do you spend your money? Clearly, it's not on your wardrobe. Accurate statement. And I don't care. You can tease me about my wardrobe all you want. It's cool. Has my name on it, which means I'm super cool. So in any case, I don't care. Yes, I don't mind wearing the same shirts every day. Fine. I have lots of them for 2018. For those of you who were with me in 2018, you probably have lots too. So I have lots of them for 2018. So yes, I wear them often. So what do I spend my money on? I spend my money on good food. I do. People who know me know it's true. I've been in the keto lifestyle for 14 years, and I will spend the money. Now, I'm lucky where I live. Where I live in New York, my area where I live, I can easily get good food. It's not a food desert where I live. There's a lot of people where it's food desert, where you would have to literally get on a bus, take a bus for an hour to get to some place, and then have to carry that stuff. And what if you've got a life to live and kids to feed and a job to go and a spouse to handle and maybe an older parent or an alien kid? It just becomes impossible. And it's expensive. It can be the way the system works now, it's expensive, right? You're going to spend a lot of money if you want to have good food. It's a lot of money. So it becomes hard and it's unfair. It really is unfair. But he's right. 70% ultra processed food is horrible. It's terrible. So
in a factory. These foods consist primarily of processed sugar, ultra processed grain, and seed oils. Laboratory scientists, many of them whom were formerly working for the cigarette industry, which purchased all of the big food companies in the 1970s and 80s, deployed their thousands of scientists to invent new chemicals to make our food more addictive. And
do you hear that? Deployed their scientists to make our food more addictive. Yes, absolutely crazy. Lunatic says, old women are winning, single, cats, no children. Well, to be fair, they've done studies on this. There's a chunk of women who are actually very happy, single, no kids. That's absolutely true. It's about, last time I checked, it's about 10%. About 10% of women don't want kids, never wanted to have kids, happy not having them, all good. About 10% of women can't have children naturally, and many of them also don't want kids. So there's a chunk of women, you're totally correct, who are like, good, no kids, cat, dog, whatever, friend, happy as can be, life is good. And there's some who are not single. They have a partner, but no kids, also happy as can be. So there is a chunk. But it is obviously clear, Lunatic, that the majority of women are not. That number of all the women being on, having alcoholic problems, being on depressants, far more than older men. It's absolutely just, it's obvious it's not true. There are a lot of unhappy older women in America right now. And there were a lot of unhappy older men. Sadly, many of them did the ultimate, finishing And that was one way of handling it, one which I cannot stand. But it is true. That was the thing that many men did, and women did not do that. And then men have changed in how they are and how they're dealing with things. So, yeah. Edward says, misogyny is the root cause for depression. Absolutely untrue. You 100% untrue. You made that up. That's some talking point somebody told you. That's not true. Just because of that, I will do a show just on this, Edward. That's incorrect. Is that a part? Of course, misogyny is real in America. That does exist. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I say that's the root cause for depression. Not even close. Nowhere near that. That is absolutely not. You just made that up. That's some talking point somebody told you. That's not true. So, Liberty Death says, government subsidizing the bad food via the farm bill. Organic food gets nothing and costs a ton. Yes, that's my point. Yes, exactly, Liberty or Death. That's the problem. The bad food gets subsidized, so it's cheap. The good food does not. In fact, if anything, it gets punished. So now it's more expensive. Yes, if you want good food, it does cost you money. Yes, it is. It's crazy how that is true. I wish it was not true. Yes.
These ingredients didn't exist 100 years ago. Humans are not biologically adapted to eat them. Hundreds of these chemicals are now banned in Europe, but they are ubiquitous in American processed foods. We are literally poisoning our children systematically for profit.
Yes.
The second culprit is toxic chemicals in our food, our medicine, and our environment.
So before we go there, I do want to grab what Pinkerbell says. Pinkerbell, thank you for being a member. Corn subsidies are killing us all. That is one of the biggest ones. That is one of the biggest ones. It is absolutely crazy. One of the biggest ones. Everything has corn syrup in America, not other countries. And corn syrup is nothing but bad for you. Yes. So over on Rumble, we are on Rumble. Cosair RT60 says, the same issue with autistic children. Government's not interested in treatment. They want a long-term addict who's never cured. I wish you were wrong. I wish you were wrong. You are absolutely correct. He goes on to say, addiction is the best moneymaker. Curing the addicted for profit means no one gets cured. Which is my point. If instead you created a system, as I spoke about earlier, to where someone who's healthy generates money for the hospital and or for the clinic, then the clinic would ensure you're healthy, because what would happen is your incentives are aligned. That's the goal of having the system I mentioned earlier. Is it Cosair RT? Cosair? Thank you for that. You're completely correct. I do appreciate it tremendously. Thank you. All righty. Also, looks like we have a new member. Thank you, Rick Romaker. Thank you for being a member. Every member counts. I appreciate the support matters. I can spend more time doing this. Absolutely. Lunatic, thank you for the $2. Says, leading cause of depression, no purpose, USA diet. Yes. This piece people don't get. For someone to be happy, they require three things. They have to feel loved, they have to feel respected, and they have to have purpose. If you have all three of those in your life, you're happy. Most of us can get three and then lose one, lose another, lose two, whatever the case may be. If you have two of them in your life, you tend to be doing very well, but you're hopefully searching for the other one. If you have one in your life, you can struggle and you may actually become almost insane trying to focus on the one thing you have, right? I have respect, therefore I must become a workaholic because I got it from my job. Or I have love, so I must focus my entire life on my kid because my kid gives me love. Or something like that. Or I have purpose, so I must ignore all my relationships to fulfill my purpose. Or something like that could happen. If you have none, you will become self-destructive. That's how it works. You can like that, hate that, doesn't matter. You will become self-destructive. And that will manifest itself in different ways. Some people will be in deletion. Some people it will be in gaining weight or not caring about their health. Some people will be in destroying relationships. Some people will be in destroying their own work, destroying themselves. Could be all those things. If you have none, you will become self-destructive. Now, the American diet just makes it all worse because it makes you feel sluggish. It gives you no get up and go. So you can't go chase the things you're missing in life. Lunatic, you are exactly correct. I'm glad you brought that up. 100%. Dave, thank you for the $10. Appreciate it, brother. High fructose corn syrup replacing sugar is what's probably causing a lot of our health problems. Also, pancake syrup isn't made from maple syrup. This, I think, is what Pinkerbell was saying, and I'm agreeing with her and you. High fructose corn syrup is one of the biggest poisons that we have in American food. I never have it. And never is wrong. I very rarely have it. For the 14 years I've been in the keto lifestyle, I go out of my way to avoid sugar and corn syrup. Out of my way. Will I once in a while have something in it if I'm like having something with my friends or my kids? Here or there, I will. But I'm talking 3 times a year. That's what I'm talking. Maybe 3 times a year. Like one out of every 100 days. Maybe I will have something that has that in it. Some sugar or something. It's so rare that I have it. Yes. And I really think, I have no evidence of this, but I really think that's one of the reasons why I go to the doctor once every 4 years. I think that's the reason why. Yes, because of that. Pancake syrup. Yes. If I do, my youngest daughter does like pancakes still. So when she uses syrup, I will only buy maple syrup. Never buy the pancake syrup that is the corn syrup. Never buy it ever. I'm totally with you. I agree. So thank you for that. I think it is a huge deal that we don't even recognize or think that maybe it's not that important, but it is.
Pesticides, food additives, pharmaceutical drugs, and toxic waste permeate every cell in our bodies. This assault on our children's cells and hormones is unrelenting. They are swimming around in a toxic soup.
Yep.
And to name just one problem, many of these chemicals increase estrogen because young children are ingesting so many of these hormone disruptors. America's fertility rate has now dropped. Sperm counts in teens are about 50% of what they were a couple of generations ago, and testosterone rates have dropped at the same rate.
You are wondering why so many women go, where are the manly men? Well, there we go. Working on some testosterone right there. Why do you see those commercials all the time? For Total T, blah, blah, blah. Why? Yes. So what is their answer again? I love it. What is the answer for a problem? You know what you need? More drugs. You don't have enough drugs. Let's get some more in you. That'll work. Patty asked me, she says, Larry, please look up the Saranac Lake, New York hospital. I left with 3 blood pressure meds after a stay and talked to a dietitian and chef about diet for the entire time until they got my blood pressure down to an acceptable level. That's amazing. Patty, I rarely hear that. I rarely hear that. Yes. All right. Edward says, I love the way you figure in the obstacles of non-holiday. I don't know if that was for me, Edward. I don't know if it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. Is that sarcastic or is that, I don't know. Keep watching, Edward. And if you have an issue, please tell me. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I'm happy to do a show on it that we talked about. I'm happy to do it. Maybe I'll do it this week or maybe next week. I'm happy to do it. If you've watched, I don't know if you watch often, but if you watch often, I take what people say and I will have a talk about it 100%. I don't have a problem at all. Yes. The AC says, hey, Larry, have you heard of the slow carb diet? It's keto plus beans. I'm researching it as a slightly cheaper alternative. It is. The reason why people often want you to eat beans on keto is there is an issue with keto if you're strong on keto, and that is it doesn't always help your gut health. So what I do is I try to eat fermented foods. People like beans. I like that. I'm not really a bean guy, and I also don't like the carbs in beans. But yes, you can do it, right? Sometimes I will put beans on a salad. Once in a while, I'll do it. So what I do is I buy my vegetables. I have a salad every day, and I buy my vegetables from different places. So I'm getting a different mix of my vegetables, which helps my internal biome. And I also have sauerkraut and or mustard, which is both vinegar and fermented, so that I can keep fermented foods in my, I am German, so I can eat sauerkraut. So yes, I eat sauerkraut almost every day. And I also buy different sauerkrauts. Again, buying different foods changes the biome on your body. So I will do that also. And you're thinking, Larry, you're crazy. Maybe, but I'm in goddamn good shape. So something's working. That's all I'm saying. I'm probably older than you think, but maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, Sassy says, read your labels all. Just because it appears or advertised healthy doesn't mean it is. 100% correct. Yes. 100% correct, Sassy D.
American puberty rates among our little girls is now 10 to 13 years of age.
Yes.
Our country has the earliest puberty rate of any continent. This is 6 years younger than it was in 1900.
Do you get what that means? And my daughters have friends who went through puberty at 9. Yes, 9, 10, and 11. Can you imagine anyone here who's an adult going through puberty at 9 or 10 or 11? Blows your mind. Can you imagine you're a girl and you have your time of month when you're 9? How does that look among the other kids? What does your mom or dad think? Oh my God, what's going on? Yes, it's weird. Why? Because no one else is having it. But again, now more and more. So eventually, I guess it won't be weird anymore. It'll be normal because everyone will be doing it at 9 and 10. So maybe it isn't. Hard for the kid, but eventually all the kids will be doing it. And if you go through if you go through your puberty period, at 12 or 13, and everyone else will get 9 or 10, you'll be the oddball and they'll tease you. So yes, insanely crazy.
This is not normal. Breast cancer is also estrogen driven and now strikes 1 in 8 women. We are mass poisoning all of our children and all of our adults. Industry lobbyists have made sure that most of the food stamp lunch program, about 70% of foods, most of the school lunch program, and about 70% of food stamps are processed foods. We give 8 times as much subsidies to tobacco.
Hold on. 70%. So if you're on food stamps, so if you're on WIC, if you're on SNAP, whatever the thing is you're on, 70% of that is ultra processed food. Poor people, we are poisoning them and wondering why. Yes, absolutely. Mike brings up, moms aren't home cooking, dads aren't in the household, thus processed food and fast food is the answer. All that combined is part of why kids have problems. Society is breaking. I can't say you're wrong, brother. I can't say you're wrong. The amount of moms who aren't cooking is insane. The amount of dads who aren't even in the household is insane. Now, you say, Larry, that's no. I cook. I'm a dad and I cook. But I can spend a whole lot more of my time working from home than most people can. Right? Some people can't. So now if dad's not in the household and mom is keeping the house down and mom's got at least one job, if not 2, and has to worry about her other relationships in her life, whether that's a man or not, whether that's parents or not, whether that's other children or not. What if a kid has a specific problem or issue she's dealing with? What if one of her kids is a chronic disease? Dealing with that. One of her kids on the spectrum? Dealing with that. Can I expect her to cook every day? 3 meals a day? That might be asking too much of that person. Now, if dad's in the household, to your point, maybe dad can help out. Dad could cook, she could cook, whatever. Dad can take care of the kid, she can take care of the kid. Yeah, it's great. But if you know the statistics, the divorce rate for families when the kid's on the spectrum skyrockets. It's like 70, 80%. It's insane. Skyrockets. Who's going to get the kid? Usually mom. Not always, but usually mom. So the mom has the kid. Special needs kid, trying to live her life, at least one job, if not 2. And now I'm going to say, oh, by the way, cook 3 meals a day. Do that too while you're at it. Look, should she in a perfect world? Somebody should. You should. The other part I'll add here, which is for most Americans, we don't have an extended family. So for that mom, the odds are high that grandma isn't there to help who might be retired, or grandpa isn't there to help who might be retired. The odds are that uncle, aunt aren't there who also may be retired. The odds are that person isn't there. Other countries, grandma, uncle, aunt, somebody's there who can go, you know what, I got you. One of the best stories you'll hear is that from Elizabeth Warren, is she's very honest. She says she found herself pregnant with a kid and wanting to work and in trouble. And when it happened, her aunt moved in with her and didn't leave. until a kid was 18. That's back in the day. We hardly ever have that now. And we should. I think your point's very valid, Mike, but I'm just going further with it. If we also if we had extended families with us, there could be somebody who could help out so mom could cook, help out so dad could cook, or help or do the cooking so mom and dad could work, whatever, right? They could do the thing that's required to make it happen. You don't see much of that at all today.
In this country than we do to fruits and vegetables. It makes no sense if we want a healthy country.
Yes.
The good news is that
tobacco.
We can change all this, and we can change it very, very, very quickly. And it starts with taking a sledgehammer to corruption, to the conflicts in our regulatory.
All right. Liberty that says, I couldn't imagine my daughter who's almost 9 getting a period. Yes. Basic Beach. Thank you for being back here again. I went through it at 9 back in 99. It's like, I can imagine going through it at 9 in 99. You must have been like one of the only girls who was going through it then. Must have been like, oh, what happened to you? Something's up. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Yes. Hold on. Super Weapons. This is for you, Mike. Great debate on Voss's channel. Completely off topic, but it's for me, so I'm going to say yes. On the best villains. His choice of Ming being cooler than your villain is crazy. All in all, I think you came out better on a list. Agent Smith should have been top 3. Take that, Mike. Super Weapon says I win. And I've decided that he's correct. There we go. I won after all. Take that. Just saying, it's totally off topic, but it made me look good. So I thought I would take that one. So yes.
Agency and in this building, these conflicts have transformed our regulatory agencies into predators against the American people and particularly our children. 80% of NIH grants go to people who have conflicts of interest. And these scientists are allowed to collect royalties of $150,000 a year on the products that they develop at NIH and then farm out to the pharmaceutical industry.
Think about that. Think about that. So the incentive is I make something cool. The companies take it. I get $150,000 per year per thing. I'm making new stuff every year. Every year. I'd be making all kind of stuff. Let's make some new gum. Done. Make some new sugar. Done. I'm making all kind of new. Does it work? I don't know. $150,000. Does it work? I don't know. $150,000. Keep selling it. Now that's going to add up. What if I got 3 of them? That's $450K a year. I'm going to have 10. That's 1.5 mil. I'm going to have 10 of them. Yes. Crazy. Libertarian says, Larry's informed to read ingredients. Yes. Well, thank you for $2, by the way, Lunatic. Yes, but the issue is, if you read them, you don't even have to read them. My daughter does this. My daughter actually has an app because she's a teen, so she does that, right? So she has an app, and she just does the code, the barcode, and the app tells her, this means this means that, this means this. You don't even have to read it. You can just scan it. There's apps for it now. And I think they're free. So yeah, you can absolutely do it. It can be done for pretty much free or cheap. Yes. Lunatic also goes on to say, moms don't breastfeed or can't. This is tough. And there was a woman on this thing also who mentioned something, that it's so bad now that for some women, breast milk has microplastics in it. I know some of you are thinking, oh my God, it's everywhere. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And if you don't use that, if you use something that has soy in it, then if soy, the kids get sick or something, that's soy or something. Yeah, it's a problem. 100% it's a problem. I agree with you completely. It is a problem. We should be breastfeeding more. And the other issue is most doctors aren't even trying to push the women to doing it. Most people don't think it's a thing. Don't bother. You can just get the formula. It's all good. Don't worry. So if you are a mom who struggles, because some women, it's not easy to breastfeed, right? Depends upon the woman. Some women, it's very easy. They make lots of milk, comes out great. Life is good. Some women have to struggle. It's a lot of work. It's hard. Sometimes the babies don't attach well. All kind of stuff could happen. And if you're not being encouraged and helped and supported in every way, mom's going to quit. She's just a human being. What if she go through postpartum on top of it? And she's overwhelmed by her first baby on top of it. She'll just go to the formula. We have to have an entire community around her going, we got you. Feel safe. I tell her all the time, you want women to have babies, the right thing, create an environment to where they feel safe and where they feel comfortable and secured. You do that, women will have babies. Lots of them, not everyone, obviously, but a lot of women, most women will have babies if you give them that environment. And most women will breastfeed and take care of the babies well. Give them that environment and they'll just do it on their own. You don't got to get mad at them. You don't got to teach them something special. Do that. They'll do it on their own. But we are terrible at this, lunatic. We, as a society, we are terrible at this. We don't do this. And we wonder why it doesn't work. It's because we don't do that. That's the issue. Roy brings it up. We need better support for home child care. 100%. Yes, yes, and yes. And we have to be better at this. If we do it right, if we do it better, you will see better outcomes. That's the issue. Matt Ice, thank you, sir, for being a member. I'm making homemade everything now. Homemade nut granola, lentil chips, and organic fresh salsa. If I can make my favorite snacks, they're gone now. Almond flour brownies. Yes, I love that. Yes. The funny part about this is more and more people are trying. If you want to be healthy, one of the best things you can do if you want to be healthier in your eating, Matt is exactly correct. Make more of your food. Why? It doesn't mean you'll automatically make healthy stuff. You may not. You may make unhealthy food. You could. But if you start making it, to Matt's point, you start thinking about it. That's what happens naturally. I start thinking about it. Should I put this in? Should I put that in? Should I add this? You'll start thinking better, right? And generally speaking, if you want to change your diet in any way, shape, or form, it's habits. Your life is habits. My life is habits, right? Better habits, better life, right? That's what habits are. And if your habits in eating aren't good, you have to change them. It will take time. So starting with just trying to make more food at home, way better. It's a very good idea. I love that, Matt. More people should try doing that. Look, I'm not fooling myself here. Some people have very busy lives, lots of things they're doing. They're struggling to get by. I get it. All I'm saying is, if you can make more food at home, you should. That's all I'm saying. The closer you can get to it, the better. I do it. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you can. I don't know your situation. I find time to I rarely go out to eat. It's very rare. Very rare I go out to eat. And I almost never order. I only order when my kids want something special. Otherwise, I don't order. I will make all my food at home. So Jess says, Larry, when you say keto, you don't mean you constantly going to ketosis, right? Yes, I do. I'm in ketosis often. What is the name of for that fake keto diet? I used to read about it a lot, mainly because I think diets aren't good for you. Diets are not good for you. Lifestyles are good, which is why you didn't hear me say keto diet. I'm on a keto lifestyle. This is what I do. This is who I am. It is very rare. And I mean, like I said, 3 times a year when I'll eat any form of sugar, fructose, anything. I don't even eat fruit. So not even natural. Don't even eat fruit. I eat protein and vegetables. That's all I eat every day. I usually eat 2 meals a day, generally speaking. I eat eggs and red meat in the morning with sauerkraut and mustard almost every morning. Sometimes I'll have eggs and bacon, but I'll eat some from a meat. And almost every night for dinner, I have some form of salad with some form of meat or protein on top of it. Veggies from different places, but all vegetables, peppers, onions, tomatoes, different forms of lettuce. Like I'll have this on that kind of lettuce, mix it. I'll change my lettuce up also. And some form of meat, either chopped beef on it or pork on it or something like that. I rarely eat chicken, too lean. I want fat, lots of fat. Fat's very good for you. People say it isn't. It's a lie. It's very good for you. If you eat it, enough of it, it's good for you. So anyway, no, I mean actual keto. That's how I eat. That's how I've been eating for 14 years. I haven't stopped. No complaints for me. So yes, no complaints for me. All righty. Staying Healthy says, working microbiome, Larry. I try to. I could be better at it, right? I could be, but I do try, right? I do try to do it. I try to do it good to the best of my ability. Kimchi, yes, very good for fermented foods. 100%. Very good for your biome. 100%. So yes. All right. We went all off, and let me keep going here if I could.
The FDA, the USDA, and the CDC are all controlled by giant for-profit corporations.
Yes.
Their function is no longer to improve and protect the health of Americans. Their function is to advance the mercantile and commercial interests of the pharmaceutical industry that has transformed them and the food industry.
Yes. This is a thing. They're controlled. 100%. Instant Defense says, I'm pregnant. What should I do? Are you serious or are you teasing me? Is that a real question? Or are you teasing me? Okay, I can't tell. Here's what I would tell you in general. I don't know why you're asking. I'm not sure, but if you're serious, I will tell you. Please don't smoke, don't drink. If you smoke and or drink, please stop immediately. That'd be my opinion. Yes. The mother of my 2 children did that. It worked. No smoking, no drinking while you're pregnant. In addition, I would take no medicines or medications at all unless absolutely like your life is in danger. No medications, no drugs at all unless literally your life is in danger. That's my opinion. I'm not sure why you asked me, but you asked, so I'll give you my opinion. None of that at all. I would have absolutely no processed foods whatsoever while you're pregnant. None. If it comes in a wrapper, don't eat it. That is my opinion. You should do as you see fit. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not sure why you asked, but I will give you my opinion. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs of any type unless your life is important. Unless it's life-threatening, like you're sick, be sick. I'm not joking. Just be sick. Do not change your diet in any other way. Like people say, don't eat peanuts, whatever. That's dumb. Eat whatever you need to eat as long as it's not processed. Just not processed. That's my opinion. Good luck. I hope things go well with your pregnancy. And I hope you were serious and weren't teasing me. But in any case, there we go. That's my opinion. Missy says, my cousin started period today at 8. Oh my God. Yes. 100%. Lunatic says, my grass-fed or pasteurized raised protein comes from my local farmer. I eat only pasture-raised and grass-fed too. I'm with you. And it costs money. That's not easy. That's not cheap. That at least triples the cost of your eggs. And at least doubles the cost of your meat. Yes, it is terrible. It is very hard, right? It is very hard. That's a problem. So yes. All righty.
That has transformed them into sock puppets for the industry they're supposed to regulate.
Yeah.
75% of FDA funding does not come from taxpayers. It comes from pharma.
Pharma.
And pharma executives and consultants.
Now, the number I gave you for a business is 40%. The number for the media is 47%. The number for the FDA is 78%. That is captured completely by the industry.
And lobbyists cycle in and out of these agencies. Money from the healthcare industry has compromised our regulatory agencies and to this body as well. The reality is that many congressional healthcare staffers are worried about impressing their future bosses at pharmaceutical companies.
So I got to keep my future boss happy so I can get my $150,000 check for the thing I put together so my boss can pick it up. So when I leave him, I can get another job for $200,000 a year. So I can make big dollars off of this. Oh, kids are dying? I'm buying my 3rd house. Kids are dying? It's my 3rd trip to Europe this year. What are you going to do? Yes. What are you going to do? Absolutely. Nora Cal Meach says, Larry, God bless you. I have a 20-year-old son on the spectrum. I'm a divorced mom. Yes, that is not easy. That is not, and I got to be full with you. I bet a lot of people watching this, either it's in their life or someone they love. It's everywhere. And it's not easy. It's hard to deal with. And we expect, do all these things and do all these things. Oh my God. Right? Oh my God. It's hard to deal with. We have to deal with it though. It's very tough. Matt goes on to say, again, thank you for being a member. I got rid of Old Spice body wash because every ingredient was an endocrine disruptor and irritants galore. And now I use the native brand. My daughter says this all the time. I can't use this, can't use that. It's got disruptors, can't use this, can't use that. All the time. So all my stuff's natural. I'm with you. Like there's a part of me you might not think because I'm sitting in a bunker yelling about libertarian stuff. There's a part of me that's very hippie in that regard. Almost everything I do, like everyone's talking about these things of natural this, it's the stuff that I buy. I'd never drink water that's not, that's unfiltered. I'm the same way. I do all those things. I do all of them. But again, I am I am privileged. I'll use that word the left use. I'll use that word. I am privileged. I live in a city where, in the area of the city, some parts of the city are horrible when it comes to this kind of thing. The area I live in, it's very easy to get these things, very easy to order them online. And I have enough of an income with what I do for work to where I can purchase these things. So I'm happy that it happens. So yes. So Alexa says, I couldn't breastfeed my only child. Exactly, Alexa. It happens all the time. This is a thing. Yes. This is a thing. And the question is, and I don't know this, you know, obviously. And by the way, thank you for being a member. Couldn't, and did you get the support you needed to feel good about yourself to try again or not? Or was it a medical issue? There's a lot of women who would have if they had the support around them to do it. I don't know your situation, obviously, but I think that could happen too. Yes, 100%. So.
Rather than doing the right thing for American children. Today, over 100 members of Congress support a bill to fund Ozempic with Medicare at $1,500 a month.
This is literally what Craig was talking about. So Medicare, the government, your taxpayer dollars is going to pay $1,500 a month for Ozempic. So don't change your lifestyle. Don't do that. Don't change your lifestyle. Don't do that. Here's more drugs.
Most of these members have taken money from the manufacturer of that product, a European company called Novo Nordisk. As everyone knows, once a drug is approved for Medicare, it goes to Medicaid.
Yep.
And there's a push to recommend Ozempic for Americans as young as 6.
6 years old. What did he start this with? He started this with the idea that nothing is more profitable than a sick kid. Now the kid also gets Ozempic. Wow. Roger, how are you, sir? Financial and social safety net if you want moms. You're not wrong. We have to have a good environment for moms. We have to. Yes, 100%. You have to have it, or people aren't going to be able to do it. 100%. So, straight chillaxin. Larry is being nice. The answer to better health is replace carbs with meat and greens. That's what I did. The reason why I'm being nice, as you say, is I don't assume that my lifestyle is right for everybody else. I don't. What I know is the keto lifestyle works well for me. That I'm sure of. Will it work for others? Maybe. If you ask my opinion, I will tell you. It works well for me. So yes, that's what I think you should do. But I'm libertarian in my lifestyle. It's not for me to tell you what's right for you. I hope if you are unhappy with your diet that you would try keto and see if it works for you. It works amazing for me. It gives me energy, keeps me excited as I always am. It's nothing but good for me. For me, that is correct. It was exactly the right answer for me. I'm very happy I did it. Yes, yes, and yes.
Over a condition, obesity, that is completely preventable and barely even existed 100 years ago. Since 74% of Americans are obese, the cost of all of them, if they take their Ozempic prescriptions, will be $3 trillion a year.
Wow.
This is a drug that has made Novo Nordisk the biggest company in Europe. It's a Danish company.
$3 trillion a year. A Danish, not even an American company. Not even an American company.
But the Danish government does not recommend it.
So the Danish government says, don't do Ozempic. Oh, but you Americans, take that all day. Yeah, we're not going to take that shit. We're not taking it. You guys, oh yeah, stick it in your arm every day. Oh, whatever you stick in your butt, your whatever. Stick it. Stick it where you got to stick it, Americans. Keep sticking. Taking the sticky stick. Keep going. We're not taking that. Thanks for the money. Thanks for the $3 trillion.
It recommends a change in diet.
Oh, it's weird.
To treat obesity and exercise. Virtually Novo Nordisk's entire value is based upon its projections of what Ozempic is going to sell to Americans.
Look at that.
For half the price of Ozempic, we could purchase regeneratively raised organic agriculture or organic food for every American, 3 meals a day, and gym membership for every obese American.
Do you hear what he just said? That $3 trillion we're going to give to the Danish company for Ozempic, which of course American companies will take their cut and make a big cut off of that. We could literally give everybody organic meals 3 times a day and give them gym memberships if you're obese. So you could take that money and put it into that. Nah, more drugs. I'm going to go with more drugs. I'm going to do that. Lunatic Libertarian. Thank you, sir. Produce. Hold on. Pemmican. P-E-M-M-I-C-I-N. Pemmican. Google it. And now you're giving us work to Google? Man, give me Google Pemmican. You lucky you a member. All right. P-E-M-M-I-C-A-N. Pemmican. Oh, Pemmican for sale. Oh, you could buy it too. Pemmican. Pemmican, also pemmican, in all the sources, is a mixture of tallow, dried meat, and sometimes dried berries. A calorie-rich food, it can be used as a key component in prepared meals or eaten raw. Historically, it was an important part of indigenous cuisine in certain parts of North America, and it's still prepared today. I guess we should eat that. Well, there we go. Berries are good for you, so not bad. I guess that's good. So Liberdes says, feed him cigarettes, Twinkies, and soda. Yeah, that's the right thing. I appreciate that.
Why are members of Congress doing the bidding of this Danish company instead of standing up for American farmers and children? Because Novo Nordisk is one of the largest funders of medical research, the media and politicians and the medical schools all go along with them.
Yes.
For 19 years, solving the childhood chronic disease crisis has been the central goal of my life.
It's true.
And for 19 years, I have prayed to God every morning to put me in a position to end this calamity. I believe we have the opportunity for transformational bipartisan change to transform American health, to hypercharge our human capital,
Look
to
at that.
improve our budget, and I believe to save our spirits.
Well, the part about the budget, which I agree, is think of how much money we spend on Medicare, Medicaid, how much money we spend on EBT, right? On the WIC, right? On all these programs. He's right. If we make it better, it will wind up helping our bottom line too. Healthier people means better people who will produce more things, who will buy more things, who will be more productive in the world. 100%. Yes. AC says protein, fiber, fat. That's where it's at. Yes, it's what I eat. I eat those 3 things. Yes. I eat protein, fiber, and fat. That's all I eat. It's true. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. That Liberty Lady says carnivore is a lifestyle. Yes, but I'm not carnivore. But yes, carnivore's on the lifestyle. 100%. People will go carnivore. They go whatever they're going to do. All they want. Yes, 100%. Let's see if I can go down here and grab a couple more. Joel says, when I cut carbs, I do not get this hungry feeling. It's true. Generally speaking, since I don't eat carbs, I am rarely hungry. I usually eat because it's time to eat. And people see me when I was at the INC last week. When I'm at events like this, I will often not eat for the entire day. I'll work the whole day. I'll be meeting people, shaking hands, having conversations. I won't eat breakfast or I won't eat lunch. I'll have just whatever the meal is when we meet people for some kind of deal making or something like that. I will only eat when we're doing it. So yes, I completely agree. If you don't eat carbs, you tend to be less hungry. Yeah, absolutely. Kelly, how are you? Kelly says, Larry, I'm a single 63-year-old woman. I've tried to do clean keto, but I find I'm constantly throwing away food. I don't eat so much lettuce, celery, onions, etc. What do I do? Yeah, the thing that's funny about keto now, for those of you who care, I'm interested if you guys care about keto. If you do, there are a gazillion support groups out there. Facebook groups, Reddit Reddit channels, also YouTube channels, keto YouTube channels. They give you lots of recipes, do all types of stuff. To be forward, my oldest daughter decided to try keto herself. Last year, we did a keto Thanksgiving. We did potatoes, but they weren't potatoes, they were cauliflower, right? We did, believe it or not, we actually did cranberry sauce, which used monk fruit and other things like that. We had apple pie, which wasn't apples. So yeah, so like you can if you want to. There's lots of stuff you can do if you want to. I don't do that stuff. I do clean keto. I do none of it. But if you just do regular keto and then go clean or dirty keto, whatever you want to call it, back and forth, it's still better for you. You don't have to be clean keto. It's not required. If you can do it, great. I tend to do it. I stay as clean as I can stay. Only organic, only grass-fed, only pasteurized, no sugar, no carbs, right? I try to stay clean, but you can't always. It's okay. If you just follow what Joel said, cut some carbs, you'll tend to do better. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Tricia Laxton says, local egg stand. I don't have a local egg stand, homeboy. I don't get that. I don't get that. Easy way to save on money, eat a lot of eggs. I agree. I eat at least 3 eggs every day, sometimes more. Agreed. Yes, I completely agree. Yes, absolutely. Whoops, what did I do?
Senator John.
Did I do it right? No, I screwed that up, didn't I? I'm sorry. I apologize. It should be down here. Sorry.
Organic food for every American. The medical research, the media, and politicians, and the medical schools all go along with them. For 19 years, solving the childhood chronic disease crisis has been the central goal of my life. And for 19 years, I have prayed to God every morning to put me in a position to end this calamity.
He's trying to end it.
I believe we have the opportunity for transformational bipartisan change to transform American health, to hypercharge our human capital, to improve our budget, and I believe to save our spirits.
I agree completely.
And our country. I am grateful for Senator Johnson's focus on this country's most important issue. Thank you.
And I would agree. This actually is our most important issue. I would agree. It actually is our most important issue. 100%. Jean says, while I was pregnant, I used honey and onions to make my own cough medicine. Look at that. That's amazing. I love that. Daniel, thank you so much for $2. I appreciate it, my friend. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm trying to do this more and more and more, and every little bit does count. I do like it. Dow says, hit the like button. He's right. It says it right there, hit the like button. But not just that. If you're watching on like Twitter or Facebook, why aren't you sharing it? You should share it around. Share. Sharing is caring. If you don't share, you don't care about children. Why do you hate children? What do they do to you? Nothing. Then share. What are you doing? You can also subscribe if you're on YouTube. Click that bell for notifications so that you know whenever I go live. I go live like every day, right? Like you've been seeing me. I'm doing like almost every day. I was away a little bit last week, but I'm back. I'm doing it again, right? I'm still doing it. Get mad at me. I'm still doing it. So don't be so mad. Every day you see me, I'm still doing it. Trying to get out and make this happen. So click that bell for notifications. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't followed, please follow, whatever the case may be. For all you guys doing super chats, thank you so much. You help tremendously. And if you can become a member, the more members I get, here's something that you might not recognize. The more members I get, the more that gets shared. Yeah. Because they go, oh, he got members. He must be super cool. And clearly I am super cool, but YouTube doesn't recognize that. So how do we get the Al Gore, that guy, Mr. Rhythm? How do we get him to see me as super cool? Well, you click the join button, you click the like button, you click the buttons that are join and that are like. Do that, and things will happen. So yes, that is what we must do to make that happen. That part's important for sure. So yes, alrighty. Liberty says, if you don't like the button, then smash it in anger. See that? Yes. Smash it in anger. Yes. 100%. That's right. Daniel says, I saw the first half of his speech almost a year ago, and I've been following RFK Jr. ever since. First ever super chat. We'll do more hope. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. Pinkerbell says, make Al Gore dance. I keep trying. I do keep trying. That is the entire point. I do keep trying. 100%. I do whatever I possibly can to make that happen. So yes, the Liberty Lady says, my IBS issues when I eat carbs. She does. She releases. That's correct. Yes, she releases. Morgan says, honey and garlic will never fail. There we go. Oh, good. I like that. So guys, I want to say thank you so much for today. I hope it was interesting. I thought it was interesting. Good comments, things that are going on. These are the things that matter, I think, to all of us in one way, shape, or form. And we should be able to have a conversation about them, and we often don't. I hope you see the value in this show, in us being to have this back and forth and interesting conversations like this about things that actually do matter. Meanwhile, I still throw my libertarian garbage at it anyway, because I always do. So you're going to get that no matter what. That's the part you got to deal with, right? You got to deal with that part you have to deal with no matter what you do. You kind of got to deal with that, right? But it's okay. That part's not too bad. I don't think it is, at least. So guys, I will be on tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow talking about no tax on tips in the service industry and in other types of service industries too, not just the ones you're thinking about. Others, yes, that industry. Talk about that with one or two guests tomorrow. I'll also be on Wednesday and Friday. No, Wednesday and Thursday. I might not be on Friday. I may be traveling, but at least 3 more times this week. When this is done, please do me a favor, as I always. Please come back afterwards if you can. Drop a comment, because you know who loves that. Mr. Rhythm does. Please drop a comment afterwards is over so I can keep this moving. I will see you all very soon.